Hello students, we shall discuss your 7th semester subject, the first subject, that is energy engineering, with the code 15 ME71. So you are aware that all these subjects have got 5 modules, and even this subject has 5 modules. First module deals with steam power plant. Then you have got second module, diesel and hydraulic power plant, hydel power plant. Then you have got solar, wind, then geothermal, and last you have got on biofuels, green energy, fuel cells. So these are the 5 modules. So I thought I'll start making videos on these modules because it will not be possible for all of you to attend classes on Zoom or Google Meet at one time. So I thought it is better we record the videos which will be useful for the students. So this is this talk, say for about an hour, will be on steam power plant. I think you have seen these images, steam power plants like this. We have got in Karnataka, we have got in Raichur thermal power station. At Raichur, we have around 8 plants of 210 megawatt each. And then we had in Ballari, we have got 2 supercritical plants with 500 megawatt each. And one more has come in Kudalgi, I think in Bijapur district recently. So the old generation plants were small plants like 210 megawatt each, but now they have gone to 500, 650 megawatt each power plant. Not only that, even your sugar industries like sugar manufacturing units, they too have a cogeneration plant, and they too have a boiler. Sugar industries, all they have a boiler where they burn this bagasse as well as coal to produce the steam. Big boilers, around 20, 30, 50 megawatt boilers. Not bigger than that. Somewhere in that range, from 10 to 50 megawatt. So they have huge boilers which generates the steam which is used for heating of the sugarcane juice to convert it to sugar, and also the excess steam is used for power generation in a cogeneration plant. So this steam power plant, we will see the layout of a steam power plant. Then what are the types of stokers? Like stoker means, I think you have seen the movie Sholay. In that, that steam locomotive is there, and to feed this coal into the boiler, that shovel is used, and they keep on feeding the coal inside. So the small locomotives and all, it is manually done, but in big power plants, it cannot be done manually. So you have got arrangements which are known as stokers, which will push the coal, especially lump coal, onto the grate so that it can burn. Then you have got pulverized coal combustion. This lumped coal is used in a very small capacity power plants, what I was telling, some 10 megawatt to 50 megawatt. But when you go for higher capacity power plants like real thermal power plants, 210 megawatt, 500 megawatt and all, they don't run on this lumped coal. They work on pulverized coal. Coal is like we take our grains, jawar, wheat to the flour mill and get it ground into small fine powder. Similarly, this coal is converted into powder, and then that is burnt, so that the combustion efficiency is increased, and no fuel is wasted, very least amount of fuel is wasted, and you get the better efficiency from the coal. Then we look at few burners and coal pulverizing units. We'll also look at coal handling units like conveyors, which are belt conveyor, screw conveyor, bucket conveyor, grab conveyors and all. And lastly, we'll see the ash handling system. When this coal, normally Indian coal, somewhere around 20 to 40% ash it is having. Even the imported coal has got 10 to 15% of ash. So that ash will come as a bottom ash or as fly ash, and that needs to be properly disposed. So we will look at the method of ash handling. So this is a typical steam power plant. I think I'll explain from the left, extreme left. You have got the chimney where the stack or chimney where the exhaust is let out. Right next to that you have got a boiler. You can see in the boiler the fuel and air is entering. From bottom the water is entering. In the coil it is heated up, converted to steam, and the steam goes into the turbine, the tapered conical shaped thing turbine. It expands in the turbine. Then the low pressure steam comes to the condenser, the rectangular unit. In the condenser it gives away the heat, gets converted into liquid, and this liquid at the bottom you see the round thing, that is a pump which will pump the liquid back into the boiler, and this is the circuit. So the steam power plant basic circuit is 4 components. One is the boiler where heat is added to the water to convert it to steam. Second is turbine where the steam is expanded to do the mechanical work which produces electricity, like rotating the alternator generator. The exhaust stream is condensed in a condenser, and there is a pump which will pressurize the water and send it back to the boiler. So then you right to the turbine you have got the generator which generates electricity and supplies, and this condenser, it is not able to dump the heat, so the total heat is again sent to the cooling towers. I think this parabolic structures, huge concrete structures, what we have seen shown in the earlier photograph also, from where that steam is coming out slightly, that is a cooling tower which where the heat is dumped, and this water in this cooling tower, the water is cooled and the temperature reduces, and there is some around 3 to 5% of evaporation also, and this water is lost in the form of steam. So these steam power plants work on Rankine cycle. You can see that this diagram was a general diagram. You can see still more detailed diagrams here with various components in different colors. Like you have got, see the turbine, boiler is also not simple. That red color, orange color thing where that red color pipe is going, that steam. So this boiler will also have like feed water heater, boiler, superheater, and this turbine also will not be simple one stage. It will have multi-stage turbine, what you can see, and so it is a complicated thing. But for learning, general learning, we show it in a simple diagram or sketch, line diagrams. Now let us look at the simplified version of the steam power plant. Now you come to the extreme left top, the coal storage is shown there. From the coal storage it comes to the pulverizer. Pulverizer means it converts that lump coal into powder, okay, that is known as pulverizer. And then it comes to the boiler. The coal comes to the boiler, and to burn again we also supply air. You can see the round blower is there which supplies the air. That air is supplied for 2 reasons. One is to carry the coal, fine coal powder, as well as combustion of the coal powder. And from the boiler you can see the steam going up. There is superheater and the steam going up to the turbine. and there is a generator is coupled to the turbine, and the exhaust from the turbine is coming to the condenser, and from there it's coming to the pump and sent back to the boiler through the economizer. Okay, and any reduction in water, there will be water will be there. It not raw water, but the water is treated, like demineralized water is sent back to the boiler, so that scale formation does not take place. So after burning of this coal, you can see the furnace bottom there is a ash handling system, and there is a ash sump. So that ash, a lot of ash is generated. As I was telling, on 20 to 40% of coal consists of ash. So that ash is disposed. And this chimney, you can see before it goes to the chimney also, there are big devices like bag filters to remove the ash. Then you have got some ESP, electrostatic precipitators, which remove the dust in the flue gases. And nowadays for emission norms, you have got flue gas desulfurization unit to remove the sulfur from the coal. Coal also consists of some amount of sulfur, which goes as after burning it goes as sulfur dioxide, so that is removed. And you can see the condenser is water is sent to the cooling tower, and from the top, and from bottom the cold water is sent back to the condenser for circulation. So this is a simplified diagram of a layout of a steam power plant. So whenever there is a talk on steam power plant, you should understand it works on a Rankine cycle. There are 4 main components: boiler, turbine, condenser, and the pump. And to add on to that, you will have other components, like you have got cooling tower, you have got coal handling unit, pulverizer, water treatment plant. So many other ancillaries also will be there. So this diagram you need to practice, because for subjects like this, the sketch carries lot of importance. And you can see the coal preparation plant. I think in big plants, you will almost require around 50 wagons of coal every day. So in that 50, you will get around 10 to 12, 15 wagons of ash every day. So that is the amount of ash generation. Okay, so this is a coal, you can see the coal preparant plant. Coal is normally in the form of lump. So it is crushed. You can see the 2 rollers, 2 balls are there. So it is crushed, converted powder. Then it is meshed. The screen is there, and after screen it comes to the belt conveyor. You can see the sloping belt conveyor. And from that again you have got drying. So hot air is blown so that the coal is dried. Otherwise it will stick to the particles stick. So coal drying also takes place. And then it comes to the falls on the bottom conveyor, where from where it goes to the bucket conveyor. The last one you can see, this is a bucket conveyor. To send it at certain height, elevated height, the coal is sent. So as I was telling, stokers. Stoker means like to supply the lumped coal into the boiler. We should have some arrangements, mechanical arrangements. It is not manually possible. So this is a stoker. Now this is chain grate stoker. The grate means like in your house earlier days, if you recollect, you had a boiler. There was a cast iron plate with some slots in that, and on the top of that you used to put that wood, light up the wood and put some coal and other things to heat up water. So that grate is equipment which holds the fuel, and it also permits the flow of air for the combustion of the fuel. Here nowadays in this I have visited few I have visited some sugar plant boilers, where I have seen the this is chain grades, chain gate, traveling grades and all. So you can see here that there are two round ones. These are the front sprocket and the rear sprocket. Okay, so the drive, motorized drive is given to that after the reduction gearbox. So slowly on that, like your cycle chain, you can just compare this with your cycle chain. So cycle, you pedal the front sprocket, so the rear sprocket also rotates because of the chain, and the endless chain is moving on the. Similarly, here also it is like that only, but here it is very broad. It is that chain is not that small, it is very broad, and on this chain the coal is being dumped slowly by the hopper. And for this you can see there will be air holes. You can see the three rectangular air holes. So the air is supplied from the blower, the fuel is burnt. This and for the additional air also on the top also you can see after the burning there is a some particles like it is not burnt. The carbon gets converted into carbon dioxide. Some may remain as carbon monoxide. For that to burn, the secondary air is coming from the top. You can see the airports from the top. Air is supplied, so that CO is converted to CO2 and sent out. So this, as the chain is moving slowly, continuously, you can see at the end that when the fuel, coal is completely burnt, it comes in the form of a ash and it falls down. Okay, this is how it is properly planned, so that the entire amount of coal is burnt, and we use the heat for generation of steam. So you can see there is one more picture I have shown. This is a traveling grate stroker also here. Here also the grate, you can see the fire. This is more colorful in nature. So left side that coal is coming from that hopper. Here what happens? You can see the this red color, this one. It is throwing the screw and all. It is throwing the coal throughout the bed or traveling grate. Okay, and for burning also, combustion also, there is air is supplied from bottom as well as top, and then the burnt ash, it is taken out from the left conveyor. It is taken out. So this is a traveling grate spreader stroker. Spreader means, as I was telling, you can see this screw and this device here. This is spreading the coal. You can see it is spreading the coal throughout the grate. So this is known as spreader stroker, and the grate is traveling, so it is also known as traveling grate with a spreader stroker. Stroker means for supplying the coal, and grate is the equipment which holds the coal. So these are actually new terms for you, like stroker, grate and all, but over a period of time you will be accustomed to that. So these stokers, there are also different types of stokers are there. See, like one is overfeed, means from top it is fed. So it's called as overfeed stoker, which are used for large capacity boilers where coal is burnt as lumps, that is without pulverization. In this type of stoker, the fuel bed receives fresh coal on the top surface. Ignition plane lies between the green coal and the incandescent coke. So green coal means the coal which contains water, moisture. Like the steam coal also contains, because very porous in nature, it contains 5 to 8% of moisture also. So that is called as green coal. So as I was telling in the earlier diagram regarding that pulverizing, we are passing it through the dry air, hot air, so that we remove the moisture. So you can see the sketch very nicely here, and the equations are given, the combustion equations are given. So coal is fed from the top. You can see the flame. So first is the flame, then next to that is the green coal. Green means with moisture. Then below that it will become incandescent coke, and that after converting to incandescent coke, it will burn and it will go down as ash. And you can see the grate with around 5 slots are shown here. the bottom air is supplied. So the bottom air which is supplied is known as primary air. Okay, here they are shown plus H2 means air also does contain some 2-3% of moisture. Okay, and the combustion equation you can see CO plus CO2 plus N2 plus H2. This you can see, and this Vm stands for volatile matter. Volatile matter means the thing which evaporates, like petrol is volatile. When you throw, it will vaporize and go. Even when we apply paints at home, the paint is basically liquid in nature, but after some time the volatile matter will evaporate and only the film of paint is remaining. So Vm plus CO plus CO2 plus N2 plus H2. So as I was telling, you can see the secondary air is coming from the top, the primary air is coming from the bottom, but the secondary air is coming from the top, and ultimately what you get is CO2. Bottom you had CO, monoxide, that is because of incomplete combustion, but top you will find it will go as CO2 plus O2 plus N2 and H2. This is the combustion equations. So you have different types of air like primary air and secondary air. So this is the textbook diagram for the stoker. Again you can see overfeed stoker here. The grate is there at the bottom. On the top there is a ash, and above that there is incandescent coke, and above that you have got a green coal, and above that you have got the flame. Same thing in a sketch it is shown, so that you can draw it or reproduce it during examinations. There is also something called underfeed stoker. This was, you have seen that coal lumps are sent from the top, so that was overfeed. If the coal is sent from the bottom, then it becomes an underfeed stoker. You can see the here underfeed stoker, the primary air is supplied, coal is coming from the bottom. So because coal is coming from the bottom, first you will have the green coal, then the vapor is lost, it becomes coke, incandescent coke. Then you have got the flame on the top and ash. So this is used for coal. Also you have got different types of coal like lignite, anthracite, bituminous coal and all. So this is used for high volatile matter coals, and this underfeed stokers are used. So these stokers are designed based on the type of coal there will be burning. Again you can see here you have got primary air from the bottom, and the top you have got secondary air. This chain grate, earlier we have seen the picture of a chain grate, travelling grate stoker. Now you will see chain grate stoker. This is a textbook picture. You can see the left side, you can see the coal hopper is there, coal falls down, lumps fall down. So you have got two sprockets, driven sprocket and driver sprocket. So the continuous chain is rotating on that slowly, and you have got this arrows are there. So these are air ducts which supply the primary air. The coal is burnt, and lastly the ash is falling down from the furnace, and the heat is taken away. So bottom primary air is supplied, and from the top you can see the slots are meant for secondary air to ensure that the CO is completely burnt into CO2. So these are very simple things. The spreader stoker, I think we have seen the spreader stoker picture again. You can see here there are the feeder, as to the left there is a coal hopper, and there is a feeder as well as spreader. As I was telling, in the spreader stoker we have seen the picture of travelling grate spreader stoker. So this is not travelling, this is only just a spreader stoker here. The grate is not travelling here, but to spread the coal lumps you have got some gears like arrangement which will spread. They are rotating, and because of their rotation they will throw away the coal throughout the bed or grate. So this is known as a spreader stoker, and the spreading you have got this gear like arrangements to spread the coal, lump coal on the grate. And again you will have bottom air supplied, that is the primary air, and the top you get the secondary air. Okay. So this is a spreader stoker. Then I was talking about single retort stoker, multi retort stoker. So like your Sholay movie, when you want to put the coal in the boiler furnace, so you have to take it manually by hand using a shovel, but which is not possible in a huge plant. So here again, coming back here, you can see the left, there is a coal hopper, so it will fall down bottom. So there is here coal pusher. You can see the left, there is like piston like arrangement, it will push. Okay, so this it is a single thing which is pushing here, so that is not, it is known as single retort stoker. Okay, so the coal is pushed, and when the coal is pushed, it comes on the grate here. You can see the grate, and on the grate you have got again slots for the primary air. They call it tuyers, TUYES, tuyers. Okay, so on the tuyers you have got a green coal, then there is a burning coal, and at the top you have got the ash, and you have got slots for the secondary air, and you can find the flame on the top. So this is a single retort stoker. Here again I think you can see the grate is fixed, it is not moving, and there is a single pusher is there, and this is known as single rod because a single pusher is there. Okay, and I think this is a bottom feed. You can see because bottom feed means first you have got a green coal, then burning coal, top ash. So the coal is being fed, under feed stoker it is. Okay, then now you can see the multi-retort stoker. That single retort was simple, one pusher was there. Now you can see here there are many pushers here. Please come to the right. You can see the right you have got top, you have got the fuel hopper, and the fuel is coal is lumps are being sent, and then you have got a pusher. You can see right top you have got a main pusher, and bottom also you have got some pushers. Two pushers are shown here. So these all three will be pushing the coal, and here you have multi retort, so it is known as multi retort stokers. And you find again two airs are there to supply this air. This T, what they abbreviated as T. These are two airs which supply the air. Then P are the pushers which push the coal. Okay. R is a retort. See here between the two retorts you have got the pusher. So the pusher is pushing the coal. It is guided through the retort, and it is pushing the coal onto the grate. Okay, and then you have got a wind box, air damper. Air dampers are meant for controlling the flow of air. So this is a diagram of a multi-retort stoker. I think you can see a pulverized coal burning. This boiler is not a simple one what we see actually. You can see the red one is the main boiler. Then on the top you have got tubes for superheater. The right side you can see reheater, and the green tube is the water which enters, and then it is this flue gas is used, heat is used to increase the temperature of the water which is fed to the boiler. So that is known as economizer. So water first is heated in the economizer using the flue gases, then sent to the boiler. So this is the boiler actually, which takes the water and converts it into superheated steam. All these power plants and all, they use only superheated steam, not saturated steam or wet steam. Okay, and these fans are there, this FD fan is forced draft fan. There can be something called ID fan, that is induced draft fan near the chimney, bottom of the chimney. The fans, they are known as induced draft, means it is sucking. Inducing is sucking. Forced draft means it is pushing. This air is being pushed. This is known as FD fan. This is known as ID fan, induced draft fan. Okay. We need to, you can download some videos are available, nice videos will be available about this power plants. Different people have got different designs, but the concepts are almost similar. Now we will see the, so far we have discussed about this lumped coal burning. Now we will see the pulverizing of the coal Because as I told, for high capacity steam generation, high capacity power plants 100 megawatt and above, they don't have this lumped coal. They use pulverized coal. So you can see here the left there is a raw coal bunker. These are very huge. Raw coal bunker is there. That comes to the feeder. From feeder it comes to the pulverizing mill. And you can see the bottom hot air is supplied. So hot air will dry also. Air does two purposes. One is for drying of the coal as well as to carry the coal, because like you have pump to carry the water, but for coal here either you have conveyors for the lumps or else for pulverized coal you require air to convey it. Pulverizing mill, I will again repeat, it is a small mill where the lump coal is powdered like a fine powder, and you can see that floor mill, we call that floor mill, where we take that jawar, wheat and all and get it ground. So these are big mills, they are known as pulverizing mills. So this air, the primary air takes the coal powder and it goes to the burner where it is burnt, and also there secondary air is coming. Primary air is carrying the coal powder dust or pulverized coal, and there is secondary air which again comes near the burner and it burns in the furnace. Okay, this is known as unit system, because here for each unit of the burner you have got the entire system like bunker, feeder, pulverizer, this and single burner. This becomes a unit system. Okay, but we will again see the unit system in detail. You can see the raw coal bunker, that gate is there, feeder is there, where preheated air or flue gases is used for coal drying. Then it comes to the pulverizing mill. It is pulverized here. Then see here there is fan is known as induced draft fan. Induced draft means it is sucking. Okay, so it is sucking, and then it is supplying the secondary air to the preheated secondary air to along with the coal. It is supplying to the burner, and here it is burnt, and even the secondary air you can see is preheated and it is burnt in the furnace. Okay, now these were unit system, means there is for each unit you have got the device like pulverizer, bunker and all, but mostly we use a central system or bin system, where you can see the extreme left top you have got the coal bunker. Sorry, it's not burner, it is a bunker. Okay, so the coal drops down due to gravity, and then from bottom you are supplying hot air for drying the coal. Okay, you have got a fan to vent out the water vapors, and then after drying it comes to the mill, MILL mill, where it is the coal is pulverized, okay, into the powder. Then after pulverizing it comes to the cyclone separators. This carrying of the coal powder is done by air itself. Please understand, air is this air is only conveying the coal powder. Cyclone separators are there, where the big particles are separated and fine particles are sent to the burner. So bottom you see the conveyor. On the conveyor it comes to the primary air, again it is supplied to the feeder. The pulverized coal comes and it is burnt in the burner, and near the burner again preheated secondary air is supplied and it is burned in the burner in the furnace. So this is known as a central or bin system, and it is not for each burner you have got. For many burners you will have one system. I will show the picture again. This is a unit system. This is a textbook drawing. I think very clear it is. Coal feeder, pulverizing mill, separator, ID fan, burner, and then you've got a central or bin system. So this will be connected to various burners. Okay, again you can see left side coal bunker, feeder, pulverizer, ID fan, cyclone separator, there is a conveyor, and fuel bunker is there. So this pulverized fuel bunker, earlier bunker what you saw was coal bunker, lump core. Now it is pulverized coal, like powdered form. Then here again the FD fan is there. FD is forced draft, so that air is pushing the powder, and coal powder it comes to the burner. This is known as central or bin system. Now so the burners also, different types of burners are available, like long flame burner and short flame burner. As I was telling again, it all depends upon the type of fuel used, coal used, what is the moisture content, what is the calorific value, and what is the heat rates required. So you can see left a long flame burner, the coal and the primary air is coming in the burner, it is burnt and the flame is very long. This is the furnace. So you have got the secondary air as well as tertiary air also is supplied. Okay, and that short flame you can see coal and primary air coming, secondary air supplied, and the flame is short. So this is known as short flame burner. Then you have something called tangential burner also. You can see the center, the four burners are there at the four corners, and it will like a whirl it will create a turbulence, and this combustion will ensure that the coal particles are burnt, mixed well vigorously and burnt, and the amount of heat liberated. You please see these boilers. You can see at the all the sides of the furnace you have got water tube walls. This boiler, this water which is heated is in the form of tube, and this tube, vertical tubes, and these tubes are throughout the wall. So that is why they are known as water wall tubes. Okay, so the heat is carried away by the water, and this heat converts the water into steam. And you can see the four corners, you have got the four burners are there. So this is known as the tangential burner. We will see the textbook sketch also, the textbook sketch for simplified drawing. Okay, so SA stands for secondary air, and the C and PI means coal and primary air. Here we are talking about coal, pulverized coal. Then there is something called cyclonic burner also. So again please remember this combustion. I think if you are aware, when you had old boilers where you used to use that coconut shell or wood and all, that grate we used to lift and shake it so that the ash will fall and the combustion will improve. So always for combustion especially we have to ensure that the air and fuel mixing takes place properly, so that the entire amount of fuel is burnt, because fuel is expensive, and if it is not burnt completely then it leads to pollution effects also. So you can see to the left you have got coal and primary air coming, then you have got tertiary airs also as well as secondary air. So this air, tertiary air, will create the turbulence, and it is swirling, whirlpool, it is swirling, and then it comes to the, you can see the diagram here, right side also you can see the diagram. Tertiary air actually is sent inside, and secondary air is sent tangentially inside, and similarly the coal and primary air comes tangentially inside, so that the coal particles, pulverized coal, is completely burnt, and what you get is only ash. This is a cyclone burner. This pulverizing, I don't know whether you have gone to mills for flour mill. This ball mill is nothing but very simple device. I'll show the actually. Okay, this is a picture download from the net. You can see the green color is a like a big barrel. Okay, inside you can see that white color balls are there. So these balls are like hardened steel balls. Okay, and this barrel is rotated. You can see that arrow, black arrow, it is rotated. And in the barrel we are putting the coal, lumps of coal as well as the balls. When it is rotated, the steel balls will hit the coal and convert into powder. This is process known as pulverizing. Very simple process it is. Okay, this is known as ball mill. We can see the figure again. This is the ball mill. So the coal hopper from the top you can see. Okay, and this is the barrel. Center one, big one is the barrel what I was telling, and it is rotated with by using a motor. You can see the top there is a motor, and the steel balls are there. The steel balls will move. Okay, and the coal when it the balls hit the coal, it will convert into powder. Okay, and that is taken, pulverized coal is taken by this fan. You can see there are two fans on the top, extreme light and left. The ID fan, the induced fan, means they are sucking the coal powder, and this coal pulverized coal is sent for use, further use. Okay, so this is known as simple ball mill. Then you have got something called ball and race mill. Race means like your floor mill. Na? If you have seen a floor mill, you will have two stone races. One will be fixed, stationary race, and another will be rotated by the motor. Okay, same logic is here. So these are two races are there. One is a stationary race. You can see the this one. Between the two races there are balls. Okay, one is stationary race, another is a moving race. So the one is stationary, other is rotating, and for rotating the moving race, you have got that dual gear drive, and a motorized drive is there. With the dual gear, it rotates slowly. So the coal, when it is in between these two races, lumps along with the balls, it is crushed and converted into powder, and then you can see from the center the pulverized coal is taken out. Extreme right, you can see the coal hopper. The coal falls from the top due to gravity, comes in between these two races, gets crushed, pulverized due to the race as well as action of the race as well as the balls, and there is a separator here, and the top pulverized coal is taken up for further usage. There is hot air, as I said, to avoid lump formation. Hot air is used so that the lump formation is avoided, as well as it helps in conveying not only drying the coal but also in conveying the coal, taking the coal from one place to another place. So this is again the same from net I had taken, so you will understand from Chitkara University. This is a low speed unit in which grinding pressure is maintained by adjusting the springs. The coal passes between the two rotating elements. One is stationary and the other is rotating till it is pressurized to the degree of desired degree of fineness. You can see here very nicely it is shown. Coal hopper, coal falls in between the two races, pulverized, and from the center it is taken. Okay, and this is slightly improved one because it can that distance between the two races can be managed by using the springs. In our normal floor mill also, when we go to that floor mill, they have option, they can that one race they can move, so that whether you want fine, coarse, that setting they can do by moving the races. This is a ball and race color picture it is there. You can see the balls as well as the two races. There is something called bowl mill also. Bowl mills means, I think you might have seen the wet grinders. Chutney gitney they make na. This hotels and all, they have got wet grinders. So that is nonetheless, this is a small one, but here there will be big. There are two rollers will be there. Again the rollers are driven by power. Okay, the rollers are stationary, but here again the vessel itself is rotating. like same like the chutney wet grinder. So there is a bowl which is rotating. You can see the bowl, and in the bottom you have got the bevel gear. So the motorized drive will come, and the bowl will rotate, and the rollers are stationary, but they will rotate along with that coal. They are not powered. Only the bowl is powered, and the bowl is rotating. Okay. The extreme right top you have got the coal hopper. Coal falls here, and they are pulverized. And here you can see there is a classifier, and due to the fan, induced draft fan, ID fan, it is sucked. The coal powder, pulverized coal powder is sucked and sent to the further use. Again here you can see the hot air is supplied for drying as well as conveying. So this is known as bowl mill, and as simple as your uh, wet grinder used in homes and even hotels. So these are rotary cup burner. I was telling the different burners where you have got primary air, secondary air, and even tertiary air coming. Now we will see the conveyors. I think these conveyors and all you might have seen, even in movies you have seen. So the conveyor means especially the solid particles or lumps of coal, you need to be transported from one place to another place. So you have got something called belt conveyors. They are very useful for transporting large quantity of coal over long distances or power plants. The belt is inclined 15 to 20 degrees, it is inclined from the charge end to the discharge end. Okay, the average speed of belt conveyors are 50 to 100 meters per minute. So per minute it will move. You can see coal comes from the top here. This is the main roller, it is rotating, and in between that the belt will tend to sag. So there will be support rollers. Idle roller mean idlers mean they are not powered. Only the one end is powered. Okay, one is free end, one is powered end, and these are only idlers supportingly. So it doesn't sag. And here you can see delivery end. Bottom by gravity it is falling. Okay, it's slightly as stated 15 to 20 degrees. It is not parallel to the ground. It is slightly slant. So you can see the belt conveyor on the top along with the idling support rollers. Okay. Then this is a pictorial view. From long distance you can see almost half kilometer it is moving, and taking the advantage of gravity as well. Then you have got screw conveyors also. So you can see a screw like nut and bolt arrangement, a screw. So you can see a screw, the motor is used, coupled, and the screw is rotating continuously. From the top coal is supplied from one place, so it is moved to the next place. This is not used for such long distance, but used for heavy, like 100 to 125 tons per hour. Conveying the coal for shorter distance, this also is used. So these are the various components of the screw. You can see the center one screw one is there, and it is driven by motor. Okay. Then the bucket conveyors and grab bucket conveyors. I think you might have seen all these conveyors. Again here a bucket conveyor is for vertical transportation. You can see there is an endless belt, and that there are buckets are there. So coal is fed from the bottom and it is taken to the top, because this boilers and all are big, almost 100 feet and all. So it has to be taken to the top. So this is bucket conveyors are used for, and again I will repeat, these are used for lumped coals. Okay, for pulverized air is only used for conveying. And grab is like grab bucket. You can see here there is a crane, and the bucket is there. It will grab and taken. Crane can rotate 360 degrees, swivel 360 degrees, and it will supply the coal wherever it is required. So grab bucket means two sides are there. When it is lifted, they both will come together. It will catch, and wherever you want, you can shift that grab bucket and again open it up. So this is your belt conveyor, two rollers with belt as well as bucket. Sorry, this is bucket conveyor. Okay. Then you wanted to see the coal flow sequence, you can see same thing is there here also. Not a big thing. Coal, there will be huge big yard where wagons come. Actually, I told every day almost 50 to 100 wagons. So the wagons are unloaded there. Then it comes to the belt conveyor. It is taken to the crusher, and then you have got bucket conveyors to take it to elevators, like to take it to higher altitudes. Vibrator, again you have got a belt conveyor, and then you have got this pulverizing mills, ID fan, separators, and ultimately the pulverized to the extreme left you can see pulverized coal is sent to the furnace for burning. Now the last part remaining is the handling of ash. Now after burning this, you have seen coal conveying systems, and then pulverizers, you have seen different types of burners, you have seen. In the last, when the coal is burnt, it leads to ash, and now that a huge amount of ash has to be disposed. You can see here you have got the boiler furnaces, 3 boiler furnaces are shown, and there is a water trough, means like a water channel is going on the bottom. So that ash will be hot when this ash will be hot, so it falls down. So here it comes down, and then due to you have got a conveyor, and it will take to a bunker, and below the bunker the trucks will be standing. So this is discharged to the bunker, then to the truck, and this truck will take it to the required site. This ash, I think you are aware, whatever cement we buy today, it contains some amount of fly ash and this ash, so that gainful or suitable use of this ash is undertaken. And even this ash is used for making cement, concrete blocks. Cement blocks also for road making. This ash is used. Then you have got hydraulic ash handling, where water is there. Water trough, as I was telling, it is hot. So this ash is conveyed along with the water. Okay. So you can see it comes to the ash sump. Again 3 boiler furnaces are shown, water trough. It comes to the ash sump. This is the top one is the low velocity, and bottom is the high velocity system speed. So here the high velocity means, low velocity means the natural flow of water, and high velocity the high pressure water is supplied, so that from the furnace whatever ash is falling, this is cooled, okay, and the sump, and it carries the this water carries the ash, cools as well as carries. So this is a hydraulic system where water is used to convey. And last is a pneumatic system of coal handling. Here air is used for you can see that two furnaces they are shown. So the ash is falling down. So this ash is coming to the 2 cyclone separators, or they are also known as cyclone air cleaners. Okay, so due to cyclonic effect only, the light particles, heavy particles will fall down, and top light particles will go on the top. So you have got an ash hopper, it will come to the ash hopper, and below that again trucks will be there. They will be loaded one by one, and they will take away the ash. This is known as a pneumatic ash handling system. Okay. So this was all about, I have taken references from Wikipedia and other websites, and any questions I'll submit a Google form. You can answer in the Google form, and we'll keep a record that you have watched this video and what you have learned, and then have a good day. So please, I only feel that a lot of terminology is there, like what is a grate, what is a stoker, single stroke, retort, multi-retort, then hydraulic system, this unit system, central system. So these are the new terminologies what we do not use in day-to-day usage. If you learn this, it will be useful, and hope you enjoyed this class on steam power plants. In next class we will discuss about diesel power plants. Okay, thank you.